What's up, crystal enthusiasts? Welcome back for another unboxing video. Sorry if you feel like I've been away for a while, but of course we had to wait for our final purchases of March to get delivered, and then we already got that April spending money and it's gone. So I found some really great deals on some ornaments when I was looking on eBay and Mercari last night. I do have a first that's coming, so I'm excited to unbox that with you all once it gets here, but I'm going to keep that one a surprise. But today, our unboxing video, one of the ones that I was actually really excited to get is the Swarovski large 2016 annual ornament. And one of the reasons that I was really excited about this one is I love snow. It's one of my favorite things about winter. And I feel like of all of the annual ornaments, this one most closely represents snow. You know, if somebody asked you just to draw a snowflake, it's probably reminiscent of what most people would probably get close to drawing. So I was really excited to get this one. So of course, I've already started my blog post on this, which will be linked in the video. I actually scored this ornament for 50 bucks. I've been taking some time since I haven't been getting ornaments in, and I've been working on my crystal buying tips, which is now on my blog post. So I've also been doing a lot of work on the blog. I had to find some way to keep myself from trying to spend money that my husband did not give me. So you'll notice the blog has a different format, and there will be a link to the 2016 ornament blog post in the description below as well. So feel free to check that out. But on the right side of my blog now, you should see I'll have a pages section. One of them will say Chris's buying tips. And then I've also put my labels there. So I've been labeling the blogs. So for example, if there's a label, I think it says Aurora Borealis Finish. So if you click on that, it will just show you blog posts for ornaments that have the Aurora Borealis finish. I've also been doing labels based on year as well. So the reason I bring that up is, again, the buying tips. So I got this for $50 at an auction. So you might have heard me say in a couple of my other videos, I usually go to averagefinder.com first, which is a nice site that will look at a collection of eBay listings that it can find based on your search term. And so I looked this one up, and the average selling price for all of the ornaments it could find, which I want to say was either between 40 and 70 recently sold, was $84. So I got this for 50 bucks, and I used my tried and true method of waiting out the bid until the very last minutes, seeing how many people were watching it, and then, of course, figuring out what my max bid is I'm comfortable with based on the data that I found. So feel free to check out my new post, or as they call it on Blogger pages, on my crystal buying tips to help you snag the ornaments that you want at a good deal. So today we are unboxing the Swarovski large annual ornament from 2016. If you're out there collecting and looking on eBay or other reselling sites, the article number for this one is going to be 5180210. And the designer for this one is Verena Castelline. It's about 3 1/8 inch by 2.5 inch, so a fairly decent size, even though the box seems kind of small in my hand. Of course, what we're used to, this is a majority of the run of years for Swarovski is this nice blue triangle with the textured paper. We've got the silver embossed Swarovski on the front with the Christmas ornament 2016. And then depending on where you bought it from, who is selling it, we can see this is what the back looks like. Oh, yeah, I got to remember to put it in the middle. I keep wanting to show it to the camera. So it's got the article number. This one actually sold for $76, $79 back in 2016. So I think I did an inflation calculator of what is $79 in 2016 comparable to now. So, of course, getting this for $50 and then seeing the comparison of inflation rates is great as well. This one, at least this one I have, doesn't have we're used to seeing the small black and white picture. It could potentially be covered up by these barcode labels because I do see a white label underneath. And it looks like the manufacturing country for this one is Austria. So I'm excited to get it open today. It's got 133 facets. And of course, the more facets, the easier it's going to be able to catch and refract light within itself to make it sparkle more. So I'm excited about that. We got a lot in there. And it comes on a white satin ribbon. We usually transition between satin or gross grain. So white satin ribbon. Yeah, and like I said, this one I feel like looks most like a snowflake, at least when I picture a snowflake, out of all the annual ornaments. So I'm excited to get it unboxed, get it in my light box, get my disco spinner going, so that way I can show you guys some good close-up photos. So now for a couple of these, I've usually seen a little helpful pull tab to make sure that you don't rip the box. Also, you do get the Swarovski website on the side that has the pull tab, at least for this packaging. So I'm just going to try and carefully open this without ripping. I've got my white glove nearby as well. But this is just the outer packaging. Here we go. And then the inside box is just going to kind of, we've got certificates. Thank you, seller. Ooh. And again, these are basically just the care instructions, the not a toy not suitable for children over the age of 15. If you're looking for the copyright date, interesting. So the booklet for this one says 2010. And then this one, which has the annual angel ornament and then the annual editions on the front, has a copyright of 2016. So possible that they gave me a certificate that doesn't actually go in this box. I would have to do some further checking, but we'll go ahead and set those to the side. So the inner boxing, of course, it's the same blue textured paper with the nice embossed Swarovski and the Christmas ornament 2016 on the bottom there. And then from the point where we pulled it open, that little flap, same web address there as well. Okay, let's get her open. Very carefully. Oh, okay, so this, I always like to catch these if I can. It has a nice little circular piece of foam in the top to help keep it pressed in there. But oh my gosh, you guys, it looks so cute. Does that not look like a snowflake? Walk up to any first grader, second grader and say, draw me a snowflake on your paper. And more than likely, they're probably gonna do, you know, with little this is definitely one of my favorites. Now, I have said before that the 2004, 2006 one that's made up of shooting stars, which I think was a Rockefeller edition, is another favorite of mine, but this one I was really gunning for, and I'm really glad that I was able to score this for 50 bucks. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get my glove on so we can get out of the box. Wow, it looks amazing. I'm so excited to see this in my tree this year. Of course, we've got the silver tag with the 2016 on there. And one thing that I feel like I don't show enough, let me make sure I've got a good position and that this isn't gonna come undone. Okay, good. I actually I don't remember why I was looking at these on eBay again last night, but I actually spotted on Mercari somebody selling fakes of these. So I've mentioned before on my posts that there potentially are fakes, and this is probably one of the easier ones to fake because it is just a simple snowflake shape. One of the first giveaway was that the box, the part where the snowflake ornament was resting in, was a lot of this like this type of foam, and it was just a cutout, like a little hexagon cutout that the snowflakes were resting in. So Swarovski, at least the older ones, are very good about having a form factor shape that's usually flocked in like a velvet texture to rest the ornaments in. So that is usually a dead giveaway for a fake. Also, the embossing on the front looked awful. So again, keep your eyes out for fakes. I was actually surprised. This is the first one I've seen this far back in the 2016. I did also see one on Shein as well, which I hope somebody would never buy Swarovski ornaments off of Shein. But they're out there. So just make sure that you're diligent. That's why I give you all the information up front. Okay. Oh, my hands must have been a little, okay. I was like, there's some perspiration here, but I think it's just because my hands are warm in the gloves. I promise I'm not a sweater. I was just holding it against my skin and it probably wasn't getting very good breathability. But that is beautiful. So simple, so elegant. Just a nice traditional snowflake. And I'm always curious, like I would just love to go to one of the factories and see how they attach these. It's like, is it something as simple as like a super glue, but you just don't call them super glue, you know? Because these are definitely each look like individual pieces that are joined together somehow, unless it's a whole crystal and they're just cutting it. I mean, that's really pretty. And I'm sorry, our weather here is really dreary today. We'd probably get better refraction if the sun was actually out and shining. So my ring light is doing some extra work here today. But yeah, this is great. It's also got a nice thickness to it too. It's a nice chunky boy. I do like a good thicker ornament because then I feel like, well, less likely like I'm gonna break it. So it does have the silver metal tag on there, with the date. And then, of course, we like to look on the back and verify that we do have the Swarovski stamp and the copyright there, so we know that it is an authentic Swarovski. And then you can also just tell by the refraction. I mean, if you didn't know or if I haven't mentioned before, the difference between crystal and glass is instead of using potash, they use lead, which is what gives it that rainbowish color and the refractions. So that's just another way that you can tell. If it literally looks like you're looking through a window and you can't see any prismatic effect, it's probably not a real one. But yeah, this is absolutely beautiful. The seller did a great job packaging this. It looks pristine. So I'm excited to get it into my light box and get some photos to you guys. So I did tell you that I am going to have a first coming up, and I didn't want to spoil that. So we'll save that for another time. But I can tell you that some of the things I have on deck are, I did get I think I'm only missing one more Holiday Magics ornament. So I did get the Shooting Star one. That one I'm really excited about because it has a shimmer finish, and then the stars on the tail have an Aurora Borealis backing. So they did 2 finishes on one ornament. So I'm excited to see that one. And then for my April ones, I was able to score the 2013, which has a very interesting look to it. So I'm excited about unboxing that one. And I was able to score another annual ornament, which I want to say was the 2014, the ball. Sorry. I was able to get another ball ornament. So those are being delivered. So you can look forward to those, plus a very special surprise, a first for me, which again, I'll keep under wraps until that time. But thank you for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one.